Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. So again, I just wanted to cover where we are at. Again, the original channel is Evolutionary Energy Arts. That was established 7 years ago, a long time ago now. And then we brought up EEARTS back in May of, I think it was May or April in 2019 because Evolutionary felt like it was going to get taken down. So EEARTS became the primary channel. Hearts Home is a more recent channel, and it seems to be getting a lot of censorship. Here we pretty much really just talk about lighter topics, spirituality, other densities, ascension, all different sorts of things. But again, trying to avoid all the darkness upon the land that we cover on a daily basis. We are on Rumble as EEARTS. Rumble has felt pretty clear overall. Bitchute as EEARTS as well. And then we are also on Brighteon as Evolutionary Energy Arts. And everything goes up on Patreon. Patreon gets every video as well. We did this one this morning, and you could see what the title is talking about. It's talking about how it seems like there's just way too many dysfunctioning immune systems on the planet, and far too many people leaving the 3D realm overall. And I want to start out over here. Let's listen to one of the 46 clones or actors or puppets.
Building cross-community solidarity and collective action to fight hate. This strategy includes over 100 bold and unprecedented actions that government agencies are going to take to counter anti-Semitism. And that includes calls for action for Congress, state and local governments, companies, technology platforms, civil society, and faith leaders, all of them to act. Silence is complicity. All of us must stand united to affirm that an attack on any one group of us is an attack on all of us. Building cross-community solidarity.
So, nobody would disagree with we need to stop the spread of hatred. But how are you going to do that? Well, it's Executive Order 14111. That's how they're going to do it. Interagency Security Committee has been established. They are to give a report, make sure they let whoever is going to be heading the corporation USA Inc. Next year at this time, because it says they're to have a full report about the progress. I don't know. Maybe they'll just hand that report straight off to Xi Jinping. Maybe I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But anyway, so it's a interagency security committee that ties together just about everything when you get down to everything from Department of State, Treasury, Defense, Justice, Interior, Agriculture, Commerce, Labor, Health and Human Services, on down the line. It goes through pretty much everything. Working together to basically spy on everybody to an even higher degree and to really watch what you're saying. Everybody's saying. In other words, monitor every comment, listen into every conversation. It's completely Orwellian. Not that we already don't have a lot of that.
Well, yeah, they're at least announcing it now. It's probably been done for a while, but I don't know. You look at this and, oh my goodness, I think we're all going to be saved now. We're going to be okay.
I could think of one way that we could stop the hatred, and then that would be having all the governments of the world just step down.
Yeah, that would help.
That would really make a big dent in all the things that are going wrong on the planet. In case you missed it, Gary Winnick, Global Crossing founder at epicenter of epic rise and fall, dies at 76. This was back on November 14th this year. At its peak, the stock in this telecom firm was valued at $47 billion. $47 billion. That's big. Yeah, it's more than McDonald's. It's more than Pepsi. And it later filed for bankruptcy protection. Well, anyway, he's gone. He died November 4th in his home in Los Angeles. No cause reported. No cause reported. He was a disciplined disciple, we should say, of Michael Milken. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? The purveyor of highly risky yield bonds known as junk bonds. Oh, okay. So, I can think of a term. Yeah, let's just say, very, very shady. Yeah. Founded Global Crossing Telecommunications Company in 1997 to take advantage of the internet boom and deregulation of telephone and cable television markets. So it's a fiber optic network that connects North America, Europe, Latin America, and Asia. So, he died unspecified reasons November 4th. And then we have this. Remember the house that blew up in Arlington? Things are not exactly as they seem. Cultural Husbandry has really done a lot of research. And let's go step by step, as he says. Where was the house? 844 North Burlington Street, Arlington, Virginia. Who is James Yu's father? James Yu was the owner of the house. His father, Ki Hong Yu, American University, CIA cutout, wrote plan to retake North Korea with bioagents for the president of South Korea, and then who is his mother? Ann Shin Yu, U.S. State Department / CIA, Voice of America lead broadcaster for South Korean division of U.S. propaganda mouthpiece, Voice of America. So he, James Yu, had a long career. Most notable job was head of global information and physical security at Global Crossing. So that's the same Global Crossing tied in with the guy that we were just talking about. So what was it really? According to this source, it was an espionage central and international spying apparatus still in operation to today. And, again, we didn't know what took out Gary Winnick, but 1 month later, James Yu's house blows up. Interesting when you look at who's some of the members of the board. Secretary of Defense William Cohen. Wow. CEO of JP Morgan Private Bank Elena Lago Massino. Assistant Secretary of Defense Richard Pearl Elena was also involved as Gary Winnick's personal banker. It was a front company and a global spy network that focused on tapping intercontinental fiber optic lines and intercepting communications, both domestic and international, between the U.S., Western Europe, Japan, and Singapore. Wow. Well, that would explain how they could come up with so much money and so much net worth, as, again, trillions are missing every single year from the defense budget that is totally unaccountable. They never account for it. Yeah, what do they do with it? Well, they probably just simply pay people to listen in to you and me and all of us. And should how many of us are tagged and watched all day long? A lot more people than you would think. In 2003, James Wu facilitated the transfer of ownership of a massive global wiretapping operation. Whoa, so this guy was right in the middle of all this. And you're telling me Winnick is dead, and by the way, his widow is dropping the price on his mansion by millions of dollars, with the economic climate and everything. So if you have, what did I see there? 55 million, something like that. Yeah, that's way out of our category. When we were looking for houses, we had a 5-digit budget. So certainly one of the reasons why we would be definitely not in their same category, so to speak. And gladly so, because again, power and money corrupt. And that is so true. Not that everybody that's wealthy is corrupt, but everybody that makes it to billionaire is part of the system. That is just got to be so evident. Eric Holder, who was 5 years later would go on to become Attorney General picked by Obama, was key to the deal as well. Made millions of dollars in doing this. So, again, this is a major firm all involved in espionage. The links go way, way back. Wow. You look at these photos here. Yeah, there's Senator Ted Kennedy. Ki Young-hoo, that's Ki Hong Yu, I should say. That was James Yu's father there as well. Ooh, the ties. They're so deep. So again, covering up loose ends. And this is the reality. The power structure of the planet, those that we might have thought were the guys in the white hats, there really is no difference between them and cartels or mafia or, what have you. It's all organized crime is what it is. It's complete organized crime. And of course the CIA, puts leaders in place. Regime change is always going on. And, they will say they're doing it for the security of the country or the company. Because after all, USA is USA Inc. This is the highest levels of government and industry. This is also why we see people being the head of the CDC or the FDA, and then they go work for PFI, what the last one is, or some other, company that makes out like bandits when there's big events upon the world. This is the reality of what we have going on. The politicians are all the politicians, all the governments, they're all part of this global crime syndicate. It is a dirty game. Be kind to your neighbors. Make sure you're not, next door to somebody that's part of an espionage ring.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, that would definitely be probably a good idea. So we have a new Rumble channel established for the release of January 6th security video by Congress. The GOP Control Committee on House Administration Subcommittee on Oversight has established a Rumble channel and released the second batch of security video from January 6th at the U.S. Capitol. All this that's going on right now is, again, it's about creating the conditions in the U.S. where we have a civil war or a revolution. This is what they are trying to create this. They are actively creating that everything that we need for this recipe of revolution, civil war has been put in place by the existing power structure, by the ones that are supposedly, speaking out against hatred and division. They work through division. They are the biggest hypocrites you can imagine. By the way, this again has been debunked by official sources like Snopes. A list of 71 Clinton associates who died mysteriously or committed suicide before testimony. We could find lists associated to other families too. There's no difference between these families and the mafia families. When you talk about like Gambino and all these, names from our history, Capone, you might as well have the Bushes and the Clintons up in the same breath.
Well, I know, but they're all just kind of all taken from the same pie.
They are. And being that they will do anything for money, does it surprise you of the company they keep? It really, really shouldn't. The creepy version of Mr. Rogers, not that Mr. Rogers wasn't creepy enough, Gil Bates' character who's buying up all the farmland and then just going to let it sit there. He took, so many trips over to Gilligan's Island here, J.E. Island. I can't remember why I went.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. Tell us another, Bill. It's time for those that are awake to, keep awakening the others. Let's get the herd to circle this and let us, drive away the rampaging predators that have been preying on society for thousands of years.
Well, I think it's that compliance of the mainstream of so many that feel that they're awake, and they're kind of like little innocent deer or little innocent birdies just pecking away, but they're also being led and kind of put in a position where they're going to keep feeding what the mainstream wants to do.
So this is a swirling mass of threatened reindeer stampeding in a circle, making it impossible to target an individual. They put the kids and the fawns, the weakest members of society, in the center, and thus they try to protect the herd. The reality is humanity needs to circle the wagons too, because yes, we have been prey to the predators, and they might look like us, but their hearts don't operate in the same way as most people's hearts, and everything that comes out of their mouth is just nothing but lies. So again, you cannot fix this system, and there's really only one problem on the planet, and that's the system.
Indeed.
Much love. Thank you again for your support. One last place too that I failed to mention that you can watch all the videos besides the Patreon exclusives is on Ko-Fi, and that's because Patreon does have a server, so we can post directly on Patreon, and Ko-Fi doesn't have a server, so we have to link it to other sources. But again, we do appreciate you guys for your support. Keep awakening others. Much love, Source blessed. Namaste.
Namaste.